Hey guys, I am so sorry I'm not there today. I will be there a little bit later. However, right now you should have your math journal out. We're going to go ahead and take notes on lesson 7-4. Today you're going to learn how to subtract fractions with unlike denominators. As a reminder, everything I write needs to be written down in your math journal as well. Let's go ahead and review that golden rule, the entire takeaway from the entire lesson from 7-3. You learned that in order to add fractions, they have to have matching denominators. Guess what? When you're subtracting fractions, it is the same thing. The same exact concept. You cannot subtract fractions with unlike denominators. The same rule applies when adding fractions. The same rule applies with subtracting fractions. Let's go ahead and look at the following problem. Morgan has 2/3 of a yard of fabric. She uses 1/4 yard to make hair bows. How much fabric does she have left? So let's look at the big idea, the big concepts in here. I see the fraction 2/3, I see the fraction 1/4, and I see the keyword left. Hopefully you already know that we are going to be subtracting from what she has, 2/3, and she uses 1/4 of a yard to make the hair bows. So we're going to take away 1/4. According to that golden rule, you cannot subtract fractions with unlike denominators. 3 and 4 are not matching denominators. So our step 1 is find a common denominator. Just like we learned in lesson 2, we are going to change the denominators in 2/3 and in 1/4 to have matching numbers. Let's go ahead and list the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Let's list the multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. They have 12 in common. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set up our two fractions and make them have matching denominators. We decided that the common multiple they have is 12. And now you have to think to yourself, how do I get 3 to 12? 3 times 4 is 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I gotta do to the top. Times 4 is 8. Same thing with 1/4. How do I get 4 to 12? 4 times 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. Okay. Now we have our two new fractions. 2/3 is equivalent to 8/12. 1/4 is equivalent to 3/12. Since now we have matching denominators, we can do step 2. Subtract the numerators. Remember, keep the denominators the same. And that's because the whole amount isn't changing, the 12 isn't changing, but the amount of parts she's using is changing. 8/12 minus 3/12. Remember, the 12 isn't changing, the whole isn't changing, but 8 minus 3 is 5. What does that mean? What does this number mean? Well, we're trying to figure out how much fabric does she have left? Morgan has 5/12 of a yard of fabric left. Let's go over to guided practice. Let's go ahead and look at the following problem. 5/8 minus 1/4. I hope that when you're looking at these two fractions, you're thinking, 8 is a multiple of 4, so let's go ahead and keep 5/8 the same and change 1/4 to have a denominator of 8 times 2 times 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. Let's go ahead and try this next one. 7/8 minus 1/3. 7/8 minus 1/3. We can go ahead and pause it and let you guys try it yourselves. Okay, so you should have already built your list. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Looking at this list, the least number they have in common is 24. So we're going to go ahead and change both of these fractions to have a denominator of 24. How do I get 8 to 24? Times 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. How do I get 3 to 24? Times 8. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. And now we can subtract because we have matching denominators. 21 minus 8 is 13, and our denominator stays the same. All right, guys, we're going to go into Math Workshop. Please follow the directions on the board, and I will see you later.